Alright, so you want to track your object to a spline, and you want to be able to bake that animation into an FBX file. Well, this is how to do that. So, first of all, to actually get the object to move along the path, we're going to want to add a bone to the object, and then make it follow the path with a bone constraint. So, I guess first thing we want to do is get this cursor over here, so that we can add the object in the right position. So all you need to do is go to Object, Snap, Cursor to Selected when you have the cart selected, or the object that you want to track to the spline selected, and then go to Add, Armature, Single Bone, and once you have your bone, you can parent the cart or add the armature modifier to your cart, and click on this eyedropper thing and click on your bone, and now all you need to do is make sure that the cart is actually following this bone, because right now if I go into pose mode and move this around, it's a bit weird. So to fix that, we just go click on the cart or the object that you're using, go to weight paint, and make sure that your weight is all the way at 1, and hold Alt and click outside of the cart and drag away, and that will set everything to a weight of 1. So now when you move your object around, it will move just like that with the bone. So now we want to track the bone to the spline. So with the bone selected, go into pose mode. We'll make sure you're in pose mode and go to bone constraints right up here. If you can't see this because your menu is like this, you can scroll or just drag out your window. And you want to add a bone constraint, and you want to add the follow path constraint. And with that done, you can now select your spline like this, or select your spline like this. And now to actually make it follow the path, as you can see when we play the animation, it follows the path as is, but to make sure that it's following explicitly, we want to click follow curve in terms for the rotation. So if we look at this and pause it somewhere, you'll see that it's not tracking correctly. So if we click follow curve, you'll see that it tries to orient towards the curve. And now you just need to scroll through these options until your cart is facing forward. In my case, X is forward, but you can press any of these. And with that done, your cart is now following the entire track, just as you would hope. And that's great. But we still have yet to bake this. Sorry, actually, is this going backwards? It is going backwards. Let's click -X. There we go. Now we need to bake the animation. So first, make sure that your path is animated by clicking Animate Path. If it already is, then it will say path is already animated, but just to make sure. So once you have that done, we need to go back to object mode, and we need to click on our bone, make sure our bone is selected, go to object, go to animation, click on bake action, and in this panel you want to make sure that you are baking the pose of the bone and that the visual keying is set to enabled. And with that done, you click OK, and you'll already notice that some things are freaking out. That's because you're having two paths at once playing, two animations playing at once. So you get rid of your follow path constraint, or just hide it if you would like, and that fixes all of that. You now have an animation baked, ready for export.